Hi stamping friends, this is Robin Dawes with Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Diego, California. Coming to you today on a beautiful Monday, mid-late 70 degrees here in San Diego. It is so pretty outside. Nice little breeze going here. And today we are going to use the Feels Like Home stamp, which is one of our free stamp sets that you can get during Celebration right now. We only have this week and next week left of Celebration. It ends on September 30th. We're already sold out of the bedazzling paper, so I hope you all got yourself some, because that was actually my favorite thing in the whole celebration. So hopefully you got some of that sparkly paper. But today we're going to play with Feels Like Home. To me, that was kind of one of the sleeper sets. I actually didn't get it my first round of buying stuff with Celebration. And I saw some pretty cards. I'll show you one of them that I just kind of copied because I thought it was so beautiful. And it just makes some very kind of easy, simple cards. So let me turn you down and I can show you what we mean here. All right. Oops. So hopefully you can see what's going on here. But this is obviously our Celebration catalog here, and the one that we're going to be using is on page, this is the bedazzling paper that I was telling you about that is no longer available. The one we're going to be playing with is on, did I pass it? Yeah, see, that's how easy it is to miss. This Feels Like Home set, okay? And at first I looked at this and I went, oh, that looks like a lot of work or a lot of coloring, or I'm not sure it's going to come out, but honestly it stamps beautifully. It's easy. You can make it plain. You can, color the heck out of it. So this is the card that we're going to make today, and as you can see, I didn't color the heck out of it. I colored a little bit of it, and that's what the fun thing I think about this is that you can color a little, or you can color a lot of it and still have fun with it. This is similar to a card that I saw that I first decided that I just really liked, and as you can see, it was just stamped in Misty Moonlight, zero coloring. And then this is another one, third one I did, with a little more coloring because I colored in the trees or the plants here. I noticed I didn't color everything either, and this is from the Painted Christmas paper. Anyway, so like I said, this is the one that we're going to make. And oh, the other thing I wanted to point out is this adorable little pot here that you could use on almost anything, and some nice sentiments too. Anyway, so this is the one that we're going to make, and you'll notice a couple things. Okay, this is raised up. Can you see that edge right there? And this is the cork that we played with last week. Okay, so this is the card we made last week, and you'll notice, see the cork back here? That's actually the center from this frame that we're going to make today. So that's why I decided what we were going to make today. And if you'll recall from last week, just move that to the side. This is how I cut out, or I guess I kind of more did it that way. This is how I cut out the frame. So I took two of the rectangles from the stitched rectangle set. In fact, I'm going to take them apart now, and I taped them together with washi tape, and that's how I cut them out. So this used the bigger one, the biggest one, and the third in. And when you're making a frame, that's the best advice is don't do the two right next to each other, but one in from it. So I'm not going to cut another frame because guess what? I have this one left over from last time, but we will need this little center part to cut out this white piece. Okay, so let's move those to the side for a minute. And where's my paper? There we So this is a piece that's, what is it, 5 by 3 3/4, and it's actually a little bit bigger. You know, sometimes I will cut these out ahead of time with whatever I'm going to cut out with the dies, but on this one I didn't, because I was having trouble stamping this straight, and you really kind of want to get this this door in here straight. So with these really big stamps, I don't bring the stamp to the pad because it's bigger than the pad and I will want to make sure that I've got it all. I bring the ink pad to the stamp. Now with this one, you really have to take care in inking it up. These door edges here, I actually did have a little trouble on a couple of them. The other thing you could do is use your Stamparatus. This would be a really good one to use your Stamparatus on, but I'm a little lazy today, so I didn't get that out. Okay, so like I said, and you notice on a lot of these I don't always put my stickers on, but I did notice it did make it easier to get this little door straight. And you want to push down really hard. Because you want to make sure you get all these lines in. Ta-da! Perfect. And then the other thing I want to do is take a piece of paper, exact same size, and I want to stamp that cute little pot, because I'm going to put that on the inside. I just thought that would be awfully cute to put on the inside. Now, so I'm going to just put that to the side. We are going to just color a little bit, and there's a couple things I want to show you about coloring. So one thing is using your blender pens. We haven't used these in a while, so I don't know if these are, oh, see, it is. So what this is doing is just moving your ink around that's already here. This has some, I don't know what this stuff is on the inside of it. And what it does is it just moves the ink around that's already there. And so it's not a heavy coloring here. It's really kind of light, which is the feeling I was kind of going for. And you can do the same down here, but I noticed that it seemed a little too light for me down here. So there's two ways you can color it. You can color, you know, a little like this with your markers, just to thicken those lines up a little bit. But the other way is to get a little color on this blender pen. Now I know with our old ink pads we used to, with them closed, like push down on them. I don't have good luck doing that on these pads. So what I do is just pick up a little ink on a block, and then I just use that block as my ink pad. Okay, so I got a little bit on here, and then when it starts getting too light, like in there, I'll just pick up a little bit more. And like I said, I didn't really want to color a whole ton on here. Ooh, I finally have people. Hi Becky, hi Marilyn, hi Margaret. Glad you're all here. Where are you watching me from? All right, did I do anything else? I think that was about all I colored with this. And then when you want to change colors, what you want to do is just go like that until it runs clear. Okay, and then I decided, I think part of this I decided to play with was because I wanted to use some coloring that I hadn't used in a while. And that included using some of our watercolor pencils. And these are a deal. I think they're, I can't remember how much, $12, $15 at the most. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different colors. And there's 2 different sets. So this is one of the older ones, and then there's another one that has some of the newer colors. So yeah, Linda, that's what I started with, is that this set was, to me, one of the ones that I totally skipped over on the Celebration, but I know it hasn't sold out yet. So far, all I've heard about that has sold out is the bedazzling paper. Nothing else has sold out. So I just, you know, like I said, I wasn't trying to be exact with any coloring here. Just trying to get a little flavor of it. So just go, trying just to get the brick. So you could totally leave it like that, but if you want to take your blender pen and smooth it out a little bit, it gives it kind of more of a watercolory look. And I just used regular paper. If you really wanted to watercolor this, use your shimmer white paper. That works a little bit better. But see the difference about how it's just kind of blended in a little bit more, I think, on here. And I may have used, no, that's just the real red. You can use whatever color you want. I think I must have used some other color on here too, because it doesn't look exactly like what I just did. But that's okay. Every time you do it, it's going to look a little different anyway, right? Okay, so then I want to take, oh, I hope this works in my little mini, because that's all I have out here. Yep, that should work. So then we're going to cut this out. And again, like I said, what I really want to line up here is so that my the door frame looks even. This is gonna barely fit through here, but barely works for me. And again, this was the third biggest of the rectangle frames. Now, this is probably a better thing to cut on your big shot or your bigger machine, because these edges, when you pull them through like that, they really don't like to go straight through. It's much better if you send it through at a little bit of an angle there. So remember, this would have been like the frame. On the other one, you could totally use this as a frame for another project too. Just be careful when you're taking it out of this frame. They do tend to want to bend a little bit. Okay. So see how I have a little smush there? I think that's going to be the perfect place for our little embellishments. Okay, so we've got an 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, typical size for our card base, and this one is in cinnamon cider. Oh, that's the ink that we also used here too. And you could just put it flat on here like this, but I thought it would be much more interesting if we raised it up a little bit. So we're going to be raising it up with these foam adhesive strips. These are really cool. You could also have cut this using the foam adhesive ones that are like the whole set, but I mean a whole sheet. That's what it's called, foam adhesive sheets. But I decided that I actually like using these, and it made more sense since it's a frame. And I am gonna save this little one because I use these a lot. When I use my letters, I still have those big letters that have been around a long time. And you do want on this one to use the entire, put it on the entire frame. This is that Cork paper. Such fun paper, you guys. If you haven't gotten it already, another one of those sleeper things. This is from the mini catalog. It is really fantastic, especially for kind of guy cards, which we all have trouble making. And I would say this could be used as a guy card personally because it doesn't have a lot of stuff on it. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to glue this down first, and then I'm going to glue the stamped part. Hi, Peggy. Watching me. My upline, who's local to me here, is watching me from Massachusetts because she's back there visiting her son. Hi, Linda. Oh, hi, Tricia. Oh, we've got Massachusetts, California, and Arizona at least represented today. Anywhere else? Okay, so just my thing is always, can I do this straight? So it's sticking to my fingers a little bit. There we go. It's a little off because it's a little more on the top than the bottom, but we'll call that a success. And then I'm going to glue this down. And you just kind of have to put it underneath there. It really does fit in, perfectly because you cut that out with the same one. As long as we got glue out, let's put this in. So I envision this as like you bought a new house card, or welcome to the neighborhood, or I don't know, you could use it as a thank you card or something, but you see I haven't put anything on it yet because I wasn't sure how I was going to use it. So these are the 2010-20 to 2022 in color square gems. That was the other reason I made this card, is because I had bought these when the big catalog came out and I had never used them. And so I was like, it is time. They don't want to come off, but it is time. Remember that little smush there? Well, bye-bye, little smush. So I'm using one big one and one little one. They come in 2 different sizes in all the different in colors from the ones that started last year. And then don't turn me into the Stampin' Up! Police, but I'm actually using some retired cinnamon cider ribbon. When I saw the new catalog didn't have any ribbon that matched these guys, I said, I know I'm going to want some, so I actually bought some extra. So, unless you have a source for old retired stuff, this is old retired ribbon. So, like I said, hopefully no one will turn me into the Stampin' Up! Police, but you notice how I make my bows these days? I make a bunny ears, as we call them, and wrap them around each other. And then I'm just gonna, I think I'll make that a little smaller. Stick that up in the corner here. There we go. Where's my glue dots? Wow, I don't know if I have any left on here. Oh, there's 2 glue dots left on here. But this time I got smart and I ordered some early, so I've got the next next package ready to go. This is another place that your take the pick tool comes in handy, is getting those little darn glue dots off without getting your hand covered in glue dot or the glue dots on your hand. And that's pretty much it for that card. So easy peasy. That's what I really like about this this stamps is, you know, you can make it really plain, like, see, I've already covered up everything here to find those other ones I was showing you. Dang, Robin. Well, I guess you get to look at these. But you can make them easy peasy with just, you know, you didn't even have to color these in if you didn't want to. Just stamp it and go. Or you can do coloring with, today like we did the blender pens, or you can color with our, you know, watercolor pens, whatever suits your fancy. And no matter how you do it, it's going to come out good. All right, so turn you back up here for a second and say, hope you have a great week. Thank you, Tricia. Glad you liked it. And I will see you again next Monday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So have a good week. Bye.